You know, folks, there's truly nothing I love more than seeing Republicans squirm.
Yeah, boy!
Gross, dude. Not that. I'm talking about Republicans trapped in a corner, squirming around, camouflaging themselves to look like not Trumpers after their inevitable come-to-Jesus moment of finally realizing, hey, this convicted felon, serial adulterer, alleged PDF file running for president might not be a great guy after all.
Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time.
And they are flip-flopping like said cuttlefish out of water or J.D. Vance on his morals.
Terrible candidate. Idiot if you voted for him. Might be America's Hitler.
I was wrong about Donald Trump. I didn't think he was going to be a good president, Brett. He was a great president.
But would you believe it, this time, just like closeted Republicans at the RNC, they're flip-flopping to the other team. Well, sort of, because just like a cuttlefish, and the reason why I picked it specifically for this analogy, they still don't have the spine to disavow Donald Trump and support Kamala Harris in the same sentence. Maybe they think doing so would burst them into flames instantaneously, or maybe they just don't want tiny fingers to try to
grab him by the pussy.
So let us not give insane eyes pat too many foreheads Toomey the benefit of the doubt just yet, until we hear out his reasoning. Because it's a little logically convoluted in ways that only a Republican could impressively contort.
When you look at the presidential race, you know, you guys like Paul Ryan, that tell me, you give me a list of reasons why Kamala Harris would be the worst thing to ever happen, but still won't vote for Trump and say something like, well, it's not really a vote for Harris, and I'm not really, I just can't. Yeah, because it is a binary choice. So a vote not for Trump is a vote for Harris.
Now that is CNBC Squawk Box host Joe Kernen, and credit where credit is due, because far too often the mainstream media just lets Republicans get away with their false reality Magadonian nonsense, but the level of pushback he gives Toomey in this interview is a healthy dose of cathartic, journalistic, and moral integrity for once. And frankly, he is spot on that point. I don't agree it should be a binary choice, but that's the system we live in here in the United States. Not voting for Donald Trump is essentially a vote for Kamala Harris and vice versa. Even if you wanted to make the argument about third-party candidates, you really can't anymore, because RFK Jr.'s brain sandworm spoke to him like he was the Lisan al-Gaib and gave him visions to back out and support Donald Trump for the imperial future of Arrakis and the safety of the spice trade. All that to say, the choice is pretty binary, and arguing otherwise, as we'll see, falls pretty flat and sounds pretty stupid.
A couple of things. First of all, I voted for Donald Trump.
I know
twice,
you did, but
16
but
and
we're
in
not
2020.
talking about it.
And that lends credibility to your decision-making skills. How exactly? Oh, sorry, right. Republicans and logic. It's like two male ends of the plug. Sorry, bad analogy. Anyway.
But when you lose an election and you try to overturn the results so that you can stay in power,
we all are familiar
you lose me. You lose me at that point.
Then
so
you prefer Kamala Harris.
Hold on.
You would prefer Kamala Harris.
I acknowledge that the outcome is a binary situation, but my choice is not.
Oh, so now it's about choice. Excellent point, Pat Two-Face. This country was founded on the liberties we have as individuals to make our own choices over our own personal autonomy, something Republicans have always been fervent supporters of.
My choice. I have the choice, and you and I are just going to disagree on this.
What if it came down to one vote, and it was yours that put Kamala Harris, then it is yours.
It is an acceptable position for me to say that neither of these candidates can be my choice for president.
It's going to be one. 28% corporate taxes, 45% capital.
I get it. So the answer to that is Republican control of the Senate. And that is absolutely essential. If the other side runs the table, then Katie barred the door. They will repeal the filibuster, and they will be dragged by their left wing, which clearly is in charge now.
Okay, I just gotta stop Pat too much Fox News on that point right there, because my bullshit meter is off the charts right now. First of all, the filibuster. That thing should have been gone decades ago, and the reason being is because of obstructionist Republicans who use it to stop presidents from legitimately appointing Supreme Court justices and then implanting ones that take away our rights in favor of billionaire favors, as well as blocking any legislation from ever getting done. A point further emphasized by Republican control of the House, which is led by far-right MAGA lunatics. The projection is immeasurable from this guy. Even if the left wing did control the Democrats, as he so baselessly claims, and I don't even have time to go into how stupid a claim it is, the things they'd be driving the country towards are affordable childcare, paid family leave, supporting labor unions, and legislating based off the fact that climate change is real. Not, I don't know, trying to ban free lunches in favor of deregulating bump stocks and falsely claiming a free and fair election was stolen while simultaneously trying to hang Mike Pence. We're not the same, Pat. Get that through your thickly four-headed skull.
And I think Kamala Harris proved that with her vice presidential election. And it's huge tax increases. It's probably some version of Medicare for all. It might even get to an expansion of the Supreme Court because there will be no breaks.
Oh no, tax increases for billionaires, socialized healthcare that all of the rest of the developed world has, and an expansion of the supremely biased billionaire fan club. What are we, Soviet Russia?
But the good news is, I think Republicans are going to take the Senate.
Right. Perhaps, but there's plenty of regulatory moves, as we've seen from Biden. There's sort of executive orders. There's plenty of things that even if the Senate does. Well,
yes, there is damage that will be done there. However, a Republican Senate can mitigate that also by its power of confirmation, and they've got to hang tough
the
on
best
some of
you
these
can
nominees.
hope for is maybe a defensive gridlock type situation where the worst case scenario doesn't happen. The filibuster's not ended. The Supreme Court doesn't go to 18 people.
Exactly.
We don't make it a civil offense to cross the border. We end the filibuster. All of those things don't happen if Republicans are in control of the Senate.
God, you can even see him laughing at how ridiculous it is to defend his own stance. And I just have a couple of key points to tack onto this as closing thoughts. First of all, bullshit arguments set aside. It's hard to believe a damn word that this guy says because he claims he's not voting for Donald Trump because of Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election, but the guy abstained from voting on the creation of an independent commission to investigate January 6th. On top of that, the only reason he's even coming out to say that he doesn't support Trump, much like Paul Ryan or Ken Buck, is because he's not running for office anymore. These people can only plainly speak their conscience when they aren't in danger of losing their seat, and that is exactly what will perpetuate the types of anti-democratic antics that MAGA Republicans and further Republican control of the Senate will continue to rain down like hellfire on the pillars of our institutions. And that leads me to the final and maybe most important point that I mentioned the other day but will reiterate here because it's of crucial importance. Keeping Donald Trump out of office is imperative, but it's not the entire solution. We have to pay as much, if not more attention, thanks to the Electoral College, to who we are voting for at the state and local level. Because even if Kamala does win and Republicans manage to take the Senate, we won't be in a fascist dictatorship, but we will still be in a gridlocked political shit show where nothing gets done to help everyday Americans, and far-right lunatics will still be in positions of power, chipping away at our institutions, our civil liberties, and billionaires' tax rates. So smash that like button if you agree, spread the word about local elections and your top priorities and the importance of those down ballot races and propositions. Stay informed by subscribing to the Really American channel and vote blue, folks, for God's sakes, for ours and our posterities. And as always, for Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.